I wrote this on acoustic guitar, I think in Manchester. I was fucking hungover. And I was just kind of had this idea of it being like... Crawling like a ghost down the underground, like a dog through the last damn pound, that kind of thing.
Save Me is a cool song. It's just high energy, high octane, riffs, space, great verse, there's stabs, there's a big chorus. Playing on it is loads of fun.
Save Me's it's a fun one for me because it's another one of those where I get to use the whole kit, and there's lots of like rolls around the kit. I'm on different crash cymbals, I'm on the hi-hat, and I'm doing almost some disco groove. So it took a bit of time to record just to kind of capture that and get it all, you know, gelled together.
And then I brought it to Adam and he was like, no, let's go like proper White Stripes on it. He was like... And I was like, okay, cool. So he was like, no, bring it down for the verse, just make it really stabby. And we had this cool idea of getting Scott to do like kind of these rim shots. And that changed the whole song completely, because on one hand it goes from being like White Stripesy then into like proper like Guns N' Roses, Iron Maiden.
John do some dual riffs, which doesn't happen a lot on the album. It happens in Valley as well. There might be a couple of others. As Sun Goes Down it happens. But for an album that is basically revolves around the riffs, it doesn't happen too much.
The setup for me, so on my own in the drum room, which was, we're in this awesome studio out in Tetbury, and it used to be the gym, but they turned it into the drum room because it captured the sound so well. But what it meant was you were surrounded by concrete walls, and so you couldn't see anyone or anything, and that included the producer. And normally you have a lot of dialogue with them, you can see them in the mixing room. Clint was coming through my ear and he had a screen, it was like a projector screen coming down so he could see me and I can see him. This song I did get quite frustrated playing because of all these different kind of more intricate bits, and I would very occasionally get so pissed off with myself that I would just lob the sticks at the wall, kick one of the drums, try and put my fist through it, kind of forgetting that the rest of the guys at Clint were watching this, and then I'd sit down, gather my thoughts, and I'd put the cans back on and I'd just hear Clint say something like, dude, did you just lose it? And I was like, yeah, shit, you saw that. But it was all good, we cracked on and we nailed it, and I love that track.
One of my favourite moments of recording this album was doing the middle section, where the guitar solo is. Yeah, I know, the guitar solo is awesome.
Playing, I think this was the biggest struggle I had on the album, nailing the solo. My timing was awful. I won't lie, I think Clint would agree and the rest of the guys, because there's this space between when John whispers, now, I think it's the wrong lyric, but he whispers something, and then there's a space and I need to come in right on the money with with Scott on the drums, and I couldn't get it right to save my life, so I'm sure he helped me out there with his production skills.
Fucking rhythm section rocks in this part where it's, you know, just the chords, that's so much fun to record, just the... Always a pleasure to play that, and I think that middle section with the guitar solo on top and the chords and that kind of accent is actually pretty much sums up what TDC is like when we are firing on all cylinders.
I think as a band we all agree that the song is fantastic, but it's the moment from when the breakdown into the solo and then the outro when the lead guitar is playing this line, the vocals are kicking off, and then the rhythm section, what the guys delivered is amazing. So it's just got that rock edge, that TDC sound that we wanted. You know, tone-wise it's simple, it's just plug in, crank up, loads of fun to do, and it just sounds awesome.